You know we had to do this. We had to drive both of these cars back to back. I'm in Chance's BRZ, the 2013 BRZ, that Chance's kindly brought back to stock tune.
When this car first came out, the big discussion was great handling, marginal tires, and why isn't there more power?
It's the foundation of one of the longest running arguments Todd and I have had. Now I've got to jump on the 86. Theoretically, there's huge improvements that I've got to go feel and take advantage of.
With a refresh like this, you always do the same things. You revise the front, you revise the rear, and you tweak the interior. They've done all of the above. They've checked every box. Except I think they've only made it look worse. The front end of this car looks like the emoji for constipation. It's this weird melted thing. The back is only improved because of the revised taillights, which are a more expensive version of something already available on the aftermarket.
I've always liked the BRZ. I've always preferred it over the FRS, and I prefer it over the 86. This isn't even a lateral move. They had an opportunity. Out of the fat stack of design sketches that they had, was nothing better.
The side blades on the FRS used to have a really cool Boxer 86 logo. That's gone, and they've gone with the less attractive side blades like the BRZ. This 86 has only a slight revision of the interior that originally came out with these cars. They've done a few things to make it feel slightly more upscale. The biggest one is this Alcantara feeling substance here on the dash. They've put some of the controls on the steering wheel now. It is a slightly different steering wheel than the original version. This has kind of made the center of the steering wheel bulbous and less comfortable to hold. I'm being very picky, but it is true. This, notice, has a blank in this car in the 86. If you get the BRZ with a slightly nicer interior, there's an info screen now included kind of haphazardly in the dash. That would be where those controls go.
The HVAC controls are more interesting to look at and interact with on the BRZ, but they're easier to use on the Toyota 86.
This is a very simple cabin, but all of the driver interfaces are exactly right on. These are some of the best seats sold at any price point, and here they are in a car you can get for under 30 grand. There's fantastic seats. All the interior stuff that's good is the stuff that relates to the driving. Beyond that, it's average or poor.
I think the biggest differences are going to be in the final drive ratio and power delivery, how fast it gets out of corners.
As released, this engine has this terrible dip in torque that I'm sure you've heard about by now. The torque dip in this car appears right around 3,500 RPM, and by 4,500 RPM, it's mostly gone. You suddenly have a car that you feel like might have a little bit of power again. It's not going to amaze you, but it's climbing out of the hole.
And it's floorboarded. You keep understanding why we want more power. Yeah, still floorboarded.
There's little question this car could handle more power. So the hope would be, once you do a refresh and you revise things on this car, what would you do? Well, you'd bring more power.
Todd and I rarely get into stats so much. We go on terms of, what does the car feel like? How does it speak to me? Do I like driving it? Am I having fun? But marketing goes on stats. So they've got to have something new. So they went up to 205 horsepower. Right. There's no way you're going to feel a 5 horsepower and 5 torque bump. That's really going to push buyers who might have been on the edge. That's going to push them right over, right? No.
In an attempt to fix the feel of it, they've done two things. There's revised heads on the engine and a shorter final drive ratio. Slight tweaks to the engine and driveline to kind of give it more urgency. Down low, maybe, but overall, no.
205 is only a number on a piece of paper. It's not a significant difference that would sell this car to me.
To my complete surprise, the torque dip in the new car is actually worse. That place where the power just dies away has actually gotten wider as a result of these changes. Here, it's not really done till almost 5,500.
I feel like the BRZ pulls more consistently.
All right, here I am. 3,000 RPM up a hill. and I'm in the torque dip. Foot to the floor, barely accelerating. Starting at about 4,000, you can actually start to feel a shove in your kidneys. The car climbs out, and by 5,000, it has genuine push. Not astounding, but it's really trying. There I am, in the middle of that torque dip. Look at that, 4,500, foot to the floor, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. 5,000, a little bit of something. 5,500, hey, the car has an engine. That's how awful the torque dip is in this car now. It's gotten worse. But like the Mazda MX-5, this is a momentum car. It's about keeping your speed in corners, and this, unlike the current ND Miata, stays pretty flat in any kind of movement.
We've beat on this drum endlessly. Just tires transforming the nature of this car and what it does for your confidence and screaming through corners like this. And that's what Chance has done to his. Wheels and tires.
There's a misconception that if you put good tires on this car, it stops being fun. That's actually completely wrong. You put good tires on it, you can mostly kill any understeer that the stock tires will reveal, and you can still get the back out when you like.
Yeah, the directness is still there. I mean, it's the same car, right? Even with crappy tires, it hangs on. Oh, you can feel that back end start to come around. Things get a little squirrely on mediocre tires. The best part about the car, right off the showroom floor, once you've got it wound up above 5,000, past the torque dip, you can just hang out and chew through corners like very few cars can. And I know that manufacturers will continue to chase the feel of this car by using electric racks. This still is a benchmark in that category, and it comes to life with the right tires. It does.
I find myself so mixed here because I really love this car. This is honestly one of the better sports car chassis out there. I know you think I'm just saying that because I own one, but it's true. Having driven a ton of stuff, this is a car that needs more power, but chassis and balance are superb. In spite of that, you have an opportunity with the mid-cycle refresh to address the thing that people are most frustrated about, and that's the power. And to that you apply an improvement of 5 horsepower and torque.
There's not a crazy amount of difference in these cars. This is great. The interior improvements, the materials here and there. I think this 86 has proliferated the discussion of, well, all you have to do is blank. You just throw whatever part on it to solve what you don't like about the car. That's valid, but at what point do you get a better car?
They haven't really improved much from here. This is good enough, especially compared to the revision, that I think you just save your money and buy a used early car and refine it to your liking. Don't go with the refresh for the same money.
I like the BRZ better. Honestly, I'd take that as a used car before I'd buy a new 86.
Now let's hope there is actually a second generation of this car. I don't know that it's been enough of a sales success to really do a second gen. I hope so, but I just don't know. Improving horsepower and torque by 5 feels like somebody's boardroom joke. You know what we'll do? They're gonna hate this.